So I think I've made a huge groundbreaking discovery, and it's something that has completely skyrocketed my eBay sales once I started implementing this into my eBay business. And today I'm going to share with you what that is in this video so that you can make a ton of sales as well. But before I get into that, if you don't know me, my name is Justin, but I go by Coach Commerce here on YouTube because here on my channel, I teach people all about how they can get better at selling on eBay. And I myself have been selling on eBay for about 14 years now. I've done over 50,000 transactions and I've sold over $1 million worth of product. So I know a thing or two when it comes to selling on eBay, and my knowledge that I've learned, I like to pass on to you to help you get better at selling on eBay too. So now that I've introduced myself and we're now friends, let's go ahead and jump right in and start talking about what it is that I've discovered that has literally doubled the amount of sales that I'm making on eBay. So about a month or two ago, I was looking through all of the inventory here in my eBay store, and it got me to kind of realize that I had a lot of items that have been kind of sitting around for a long time. And these are items that I, for some reason, can't sell, and they've just kind of been lingering in my store and really are kind of affecting my sell-through rate. Now, if you don't know what a sell-through rate is, that's kind of the amount of items that you have listed versus the amount of items that are actually sold in your eBay store. And typically on eBay, you want to aim for a high sell-through rate. You don't want a lot of items in your eBay store that are just kind of sitting around, because the more that you sell, the more it boosts the eBay algorithm and really encourages eBay to push your items to the front or to the top of eBay search results, which will in effect result in you making more sales. And if you're making more sales, you can then take your profits and reinvest that back into your eBay business. So enough of me talking. Now I'm going to jump on over to my laptop and actually put this strategy into action and show you exactly what it is that I'm doing so that you can implement it into your eBay business as well. Okay, so now that we're here on eBay and we're in my Seller Hub dashboard, I want to point out that we're going to be using two different tabs here in the Seller Hub today. The first tab we're going to be using is the Listings tab, and then the second tab we're going to be using is the Marketing tab. Now, if you don't have an eBay store, I would really encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to one. I think the lowest level store is only like $4.95 a month, and if you do that, it's going to give you access to everything that you see in this video, which will result in you making more sales on eBay. Okay, so we're back to my Seller Hub, and the very first tab I want to click on is the Listings tab, and we're going to go ahead and look at my active inventory, and I really want to target my oldest listings here. So when my listings load, what I want to do is I want to go down to the top menu or the top header section, this area right here where it shows my title, my photos, any custom label or SKU that I've given them, the quantity, all of those details I can ignore. What I want to do is I want to scroll over to where it shows my start date. Now right here, I'm on April 16th of 2025, but what I want to do is if I click on that toolbar on the top of that header, what it's going to do is it's going to automatically filter those items to where the oldest items in my store are going to pop up and be shown at the top. So when that loads, you can tell that, wow, my oldest item in my store was listed in 2016 or almost 8 years ago, which I agree that sounds really crazy. I already know people in the comments are going to be giving me a hard time on that one, but all of these items are postcards. They literally all fit in a shoebox. So, you know, they weren't taking up a lot of room in my inventory, and I wasn't really concerned about really getting them sold until now. Now, as I said, in the past, I never really cared about how long items were in my store. I always was a seller to where I listed things and then I forgot them. Whenever they sold, it was great. And I never gave much thought into getting items that were up for a long time actually moved out of my inventory. I just focused on having a lot of items for sale. I've got like over 13, almost 14,000 items in my eBay store, and having a large volume or a large inventory is what I focused on to make a lot of sales and make a lot of money in my account. But now what I've come to realize is that if I can sell all of the items that have been up for a long time, that's going to make me more money, and I can take that money and reinvest it into new inventory. So now that I've identified all of those old items, I'm now going to use the Marketing tab to run a sale on all of the items that have been up for a long time to try to push them out of my store and to convince people that may be looking at them to go ahead and make a purchase. So now I want to go back up to the top toolbar and I want to put my mouse on the Marketing tab, and when I hover over that, it pops up a drop-down menu, and I want to click on the area that says Discounts. And then when I click on Discounts, it's going to pop up a new screen, and over here on the right-hand side, there is a blue button that says Create Discount. Go ahead and click on that button, and when you do so, you're going to want to go down to where it says Create a Sale Event. Click on that tab. Now that we're in the area where we can create a sale event, it's going to have us define what type of sale we want to run. And you can choose between a percentage off or an exact dollar amount off. But what I like to do is I like to have it set to the percentage off of each item. And here, what I normally start off with is a sale like around 10%. You can go as low as 5, but I found that 10% is a good starting point. And then after I run that sale, if I don't get a lot, I can always increase the amount by running another sale. But kind of my baseline or my starting point is a flat 10% off of every item that I want to run a sale on. And then after I've selected my discount, I want to come over here to the area that says select items. And down here, if I click on add items, what that's going to do is it's going to enable me to go ahead and filter which items that I want to add to the sale. And in my case, I want to choose the items that have been on eBay for a long time. So I'm going to come over and click on the days on site tab. And in my sale right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a sale on everything that has been on eBay for over a year. So I'll put in days 365 all the way up to, let's just say 5,000. When I click apply, it's going to automatically filter those listings. What I'll do is I'll come over here and make sure that checkbox at the top is selected. And when I click on that, it's going to go ahead and add all of those items to my sale. Now you may have noticed when I did that, it only added 200. To add all of them, I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, click on the next page, and then repeat that process. I'll come up here to the top and click that checkbox again, and now I added the next 200. But when you're finished picking out all of your items, just go ahead and come down to where it says add items and click on that blue button. And then you'll notice the discount is applied to every item that you have selected. So now that I've selected my discount and which items that I actually want to run this sale on, the final thing I have to do is determine what days I want this sale to run from. And for me, what I found works best is to run the sale from a Friday evening to like a Sunday evening, because giving people a weekend when they're at home and they're on their computer or on their phone browsing eBay, I feel like they're more likely to make a purchase on the weekend if a sale runs during that time than if it were to run throughout the week. And the other reason why I run my sales on the weekend is because when this sale is over, I also follow it up with one more marketing tactic that I'm going to show you here in a second, that when I put both tactics together, it ends up doubling my sales. So if you thought this video was only about how to run a sale and you're about to click off, don't do that just yet, because I've got one more trick up my sleeve that I want to share with you guys. Okay, so now to set the duration of my sale, I'm going to go over here to the start date area and click on the calendar, and I want to go ahead and begin my sale on, let's say, Friday, and I can specify a time if I want. I think 12 a.m. is perfectly fine. But then I'll come over here to my end date, and I'm gonna pick at the end of the weekend on Sunday, and let's make it, run until 11 p.m. When I've got my time and my date selected, I'm gonna go over here to the bottom corner, and I'm going to select launch. Now, when that sale begins, what you'll find is you'll start to sell those items that you haven't been able to sell in a long time, because they're going to be bumped to the top of the eBay search algorithm, and people are going to see that they're on sale, and they'll bite, and it'll convert to more sales. But there's also something going on behind the scenes, even if people don't purchase your item. If they look at your item and they watch it, or if they put it in their shopping cart but don't check out, what that shows eBay is that that buyer is interested, but for whatever reason, they decided not to purchase it. Maybe they got busy, or maybe they got distracted, and for whatever reason, they didn't check out with that item in their cart. So in this case, what I like to do when that happens is the day after the sale ends, I go into my eBay seller account and I click on the area where it says that I can send best offers to anybody that is either watching an item of mine or has it in their shopping cart. And I go ahead and I send a best offer of 10% off again. Now the sale is no longer running, so it's not going to compound. It's not going to add, the 10% sale and the 20% offer. Since the sale has ended, it's only going to send them the same offer that they saw when you had it on sale. And a lot of times that's all it takes for a buyer to come in and buy it at a 10% discount. So I'll go ahead now and show you exactly what to do just in case you don't know how to send a best offer. So to send a best offer, you're going to go back to your listings tab, click on your active inventory, and then when that screen loads, you may have a big pop-up right up here at the top that says send offers. But if that tab is not there, you can always come down here to this little toolbar where it says send offers eligible. If you click on that, it'll go ahead and auto-populate all of the listings that are able to send a best offer to. And then you would come down here and click the checkbox to select all of them. And then under the Actions tab, you'll come down to click on Send Offers. And then it'll open up a menu to where you can determine which type of offer you want to send. Once again, amount off or percent off. If you want to send another percentage offer, you can go ahead and type in your percentage there. And when you click down here on the blue button that says Send Offers, it's going to send a 10% offer to every buyer that has your item in their cart or is watching it. Now, of course, with the best offer feature, as well as with sales, you can select whatever percentage you want. You don't have to do 10% like I'm doing. You can do a lot more if you would like. And of course, the more aggressive of a sale you run or the more aggressive best offer that you send, the more likelihood you have that buyers will respond positively to the amount of discount that you're offering them. But I found that using the technique of running a sale and then following up that sale with sending best offers to any customers that are interested in your sale items really works well at generating a lot of sales in your eBay account. And like I said, I've been using this technique weekly for about the last 2 or 3 months. And for me, it's actually doubled my profits on eBay. Now, if you have any questions about anything that you saw in this video, feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section below. And I promise that if I see it, I'll do my best to try to get back to you and answer any questions you might have. And if you found this video helpful, you can help me out by either hitting the thumbs up button down below or subscribing to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. But before I go, I would like to say thank you for watching this video, and I can't wait to catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.